Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, and Luigi Van 64D. So, in the last episode, we are currently trying to defend, Mask Damask, a thief. Ron Delane. Because apparently he's delusional, according to his wife. And that's what we're doing. We're defending him. Hey Nick, what is it? Is something wrong? Nah, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy! Oh, look at this! I bought this Mask publicity photo! Wait, you bought that? Where? For the little tents in front of the courthouse! They have all sorts of things for sale! You know I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. Alright, fine. Come on, I'm guilty! Throw the book at me! Who's screaming like that? Oh, Mr. Wright, you made this! Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. But it's because I did other criminal, me! He's at it again. I went to send a calling card to Lady Taylor, I admit it! But you don't have the sacred urn, right? Well, that's true, but it doesn't mean I didn't commit the crime. Normally when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you... Yikes. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty, so make sure they give me a guilty verdict. Please! Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. Oh, Desi, honey. But bonjour! Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. Well, you see, actually the thief is... Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that my Ronnie's innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. So why are you smiling when you say it? Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck. Alright. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is the mask or not. But there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Mr. Light, time to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust Desiree. For once, it's good. I'm just glad I'm not doing a murder trial. Yikes. Oh? Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to? What a stupid question. What did you say? Fine, let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? What? No, I'm not! I will pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I'm Godot, legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case. He's the one that Detective Atme was talking about. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? Ha, none. What did you say? I've never prosecuted a case before. Never? But you said you've never lost before. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere saplings. Yes, but a mask? In a court of law? Ha! Don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks. Either on our faces or over our hearts. This guy is the real deal, alright, Nick. Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? So we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Wright. Nick, is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Trite. Just who is this masked man? I've returned from the depths of the abyss to do battle with you. Well then, Prosecutor Gobo. It's not Gobo, it's Godot, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Wright. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two. Well then, let's hear from our first witness. Oh, it's Gumshoe. My name is... No one has asked for your name. The important thing is what you know. That is all. Start talking. We're listening. Yes, sir. Alright, witness! First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the... Yes, sir! About Master Mask's crime, sir. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree, 6 months ago. He's so confident that he sends his calling cards before he even commits the crime. This was his fifth heist, and as usual, he sent his card to the lordly tailor. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we were sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. So then the actual identity of this Master Mask is... Mr. Godot! You! We're in the middle of a trial here, Mr. Godot! Blacker than a moonless night, hotter than more bitter than the depths itself. This is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please, proceed. Very well. It's only coffee after all. What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial. Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you going to do? As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Master Mask who stole the urn. I mean, that's all I could do right now, right? Master Mask is a master thief who first started his crime spree 6 months ago. Have you been involved in the investigation from the beginning? Yep, nobody knows more about the thief than me, pal. It's true, I'm a Svati, the author of thieves. An author? He's written books about thieves? I think he probably meant to say authority. Fact is, the guy slipped through even my fingers somehow. This shows how good he is, pal. It's easy when those fingers happen to be butterfingers. Let's press more about this. So nobody knows more about the thief than you, huh? You got it, pal! Except maybe the thief's mom, that is. But isn't there someone who knows even more about him than the police? You don't mean Detective Svati, do you? Who is this person? Svati? He sounds German. His name is Luke Atme, sir. I guess I shouldn't have made up such a silly name for him. What the heck? I guess he's not all that famous after all. Anyway, it's true that he did manage to retrieve the last item the thief stole. Oh, I see. It seems you're not the expert you claim to be. It looks like the thief is playing with me even now. He's so confident that he sends his calling cards before he even commits the crime. That's pretty brave. Have you seen all of these so-called calling cards? Of course I have. Except, the person in charge of the treasure exhibit never brought their card to the police. So I didn't see this one until after the crime occurred. That's because Detective Atme stopped Miss Andrews from taking it to the police. Was the calling card that Lordly Taylor received authentic? Well, all the cards have one common identifying feature. But we're not releasing that information to the general public. But you're absolutely certain the card is real. Gumshoe can't say it out loud, but I bet he's talking about the Master Mask's emblem. This is his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card to the Lordly Taylor. His 5th heist. And your 5th mistake, huh? Objection, pal! That ain't fair! Maybe you want to say I messed up 4 times! But that last time is not my fault! I didn't know there was a calling card this time. You of all people shouldn't be chuckling about this, Detective Gumshoe. I just want everyone here in the courtroom to know something. If you ever get a calling card about this guy, don't call it for some stupid private eye. Call your local police right away, got me? Wow, looks like he's really got it in for Detective Atme. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. Really? Art pieces? Like what, for example? Well, his first target was the famous Tear of Emanon. What's that? Sounds kind of especially salty teardrop? No, sir. It's a blue diamond. A single rare diamond. Next was the Crown of Bangora. You know, the thing you put on your head. After that, it was the left hand of Hades, and then the portrait of Magina, sir. Detective Atme retrieved the portrait of Genie, and returned it to the museum. And the target of his fifth and last robbery was the Sacred Urn, right? But isn't it difficult for him to dispose of some famous art pieces? Well, we assume he must have had some underworld connections. Somehow, Mr. Delight doesn't look the type. Yeah, he's a little too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. What? What do you mean when you say it fits his MO to a T? I was thinking of asking the same thing myself. I wish you would listen a little more closely, pal. First of all, there's the calling card. We're 100% certain it's authentic. Then there's the fact that he seemed to know all about the security system. And finally, his target was an art piece. These are all three parts of the thief's modus operandi. And so, since the robber seems to fit all those conditions... That's right! It means that Master Mask is behind it all. Nick, it definitely looks like it was Master Mask who stole the urn. But there's no real evidence either way as to whether Ron Delight is Master Mask. But... Also, the urn hasn't turned up yet, let alone the connection to Mr. Delight himself. So even though we know it was Master Mask that did it, maybe for the time being I should try to show it wasn't Master Mask that did it. Okay, he started 6 months ago. He sends his calling cards before the crime he even commits it. This is true. His fifth ice, he sent the card to Lordly Taylor. As usual. Which is true. This was sent to Lordly Taylor. Yep. I'm coming to purloin the most priceless work of art on display in your Treasures of Korean exhibit. Take care of the speckled urn, won't you? Yours truly, Master Mask. Speckled urn. Supposedly priceless, but there's no monetary value to it. Why would he steal that? Oh yeah, speckled urn. Okay. What else do I know about it? I know something that would prove he didn't do it. Well, there's that. That's not gonna help me any bit. Okay, he got blackmailed. Let's leave that for later. Leave it for later. Leave it for later. And... interesting. Okay. His pattern always to go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask. It fits his MO to a T. Always go after the precious art pieces. But seriously? Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in your question is making me nervous. You said that he only goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how can you say such terrible things? No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of that urn? The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item that Master Mask would normally go after. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the theft of the Sacred Urn was not the work of Master Mask? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but... well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Master Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? This coffee here. It's my own special blend. I call it Godot 100, number 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I've got in my mind right now. Mr. Wright. What? If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. Sorry, but I don't get what you mean. If you're saying that it wasn't Master Mask that stole the urn, then it must be someone imitating Master Mask's methods. A fake. A fake mask? A fake Damask? Fake Damask? That sounds so ridiculous. I like it. Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Wright. Proof that the person who appeared at Lord Taylor that night was actually a fake. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. It looks like I'm going to have to prove it. I need proof that the person at Lord Taylor that night was in fact fake Damask. Okay. I'm not trying to pin it to Rondalite yet. I'm not trying to pin anything to Ron. I just need to point out that it wasn't him. Although this was authentic. I need something to point out that the person was fake Damask. Something's odd about this. Yeah, there's him, but something's odd. I need something. I knew it. I see it. This is gonna be stupid, but I think this is my answer. The proof is right here. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. But if you look closely, you'll notice something peculiar about it. Huh. Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on. Use that pointer and show us what about this picture is so peculiar? Well, where's his brooch? It's right here, of course. You mean Master Mask? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to take a look at. Wow, I'm stumbling on my words so badly. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? Yes, thank you for bringing it. The problem I have with the security camera photo is this brooch on Damask's chest. A brooch? Here? Bailiff, get my steed! We need to retreat at once! A brooch, Your Honor. It's a sort of a clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp? Ah, I see now. But the Master Mask is the security camera photo. Ah! He has no brooch! That brooch is the same as the emblem on Damask's calling card, as serves on a symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this Master Mask is a fake! I've been fooled again! Order! It's true. Undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how could you even overlook this? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Hey, now. If you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot! You deserve some blame in this one, too! How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? Huh. The brooch you're talking about. Do you mean this? That's Master Mask's brooch! Where did you find it? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I've got it at the crime scene. It was hidden under the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Buddha statue? He must be in the Ami Face statue. But why didn't you tell me that earlier, sir? I've always put evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial ones. Yeah, this guy's one cool customer. It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there, too. What, hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Rondalite's fingerprints. What? The defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch! Oh, come on! Order at the court! Mr. Godot, let's see the brooch. I've grown attached to my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her. It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of clothing. A cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night in the crime scene. Uh-oh. Phoenix, we have a problem. Oh, mayday, mayday. Huh. You mess with Godot? You get burned. He's been playing with me like a violin. Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. What? You're done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet. You've proven your own incompetence. That's good enough. That doesn't sound good at all. Bailiff, bring the next witness to the courtroom. Finally, time for the ace detective to make his appearance. Huh? Alright, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I didn't realize that until just now. My gosh. I didn't realize that pun until I just said it now. Look at me. Look at me. Boom. Okay. I'm done. Let me just take a sip of coffee first. One second is one drip in the coffee pot, so let's hurry it up. Shh! Silence! Now I see, it's all becoming clear. What's clear? Zwei! The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac at that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Atme, ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make quite a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off. I'd heard that on the night of the crime, you were all alone in security detail. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe is worth anything, that is. Ugh. Why was this guy all by himself anyway? That's kind of suspicious. There must be some reason. I'm sure of it. Why is he there all alone? Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. Svare! It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. It was when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I was at a single strike. When I woke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. Oh, that's all? So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal? My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, this is limited to things that will fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening. Well, Sir Old-Timer, let me explain. We are not simply speaking of an ordinary thief, but the king of thieves, the great Master Mask, my arch enemy. That is why my instinct, my ears, experience tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. I'm not even gonna. I don't want to look at this guy directly. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. So that would be 1 o'clock in the morning of the 12th, correct? Or as I once said, in a very sleepy stupor, 1 in the ramen. That's impressive deduction, Sir Lawyer. You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time? A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse, near the computer. Near the computer, huh? So then you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it. Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief. Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday, too. Gumshoe also said that he never saw him at the crime scene. Precisely! That is precisely why I chose not to hide that last night. The what? Wait, what? I knew that by not concealing myself, I would be putting pressure on the thief. Looks like the thief was the one applying pressure. On your pigeony head, that is. In any case, that's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mask, dancingly descended upon me. Why you look proud about it? Dancingly descended? From where exactly? Well, from the Indulgence, I suppose. Where else? So in actuality, he neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief? My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow, and my ears listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak upon me. I can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft sole shoes. I hereby W Ace Dunce. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Well, that. You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened? Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all I could recall. That's not very solid as far as testimony goes. However, fortunately I had my third monocle, the security camera, at the ready. Captured his image perfectly. This should be sufficient, I believe. Well, as long as the photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with the photo? Good. Let's continue with the testimony. Wait, I have a problem with that photo. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, he was gone. Attacked and knocked unconscious, and you weren't able to do a thing. That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Humph! Well, the lawyer! Have you ever been suddenly struck on the head? Huh? Well, actually, yes. By a fire extinguisher. And what happened? I was knocked out. And you lost your memory, too. You see? You have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory is because I have more brains to begin with. He may have brains, but the wiring in the self-reflection part seems to have been severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked out senseless. And then, 30 minutes later, I used the emergency phone to notify the police. About this 30 minutes, my silver cord was loosened as my soul fled to the golden halls of asylum. As usual, I have no idea what this guy is saying. I think he's saying that he was out cold. So, what happened during the 30 minutes? No one can say. The span of time is truly vast into the ether. Just what is going on here? There's something suspicious about Detective Atney. How can he not have noticed when the thief came in? Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could even fight back. But that can't be right. It contradicts the evidence. Huh? Which piece? The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? There's a big problem. It's a big problem. Something about this mask, about this brooch doesn't make sense. Because just look at it. It's a brooch, right? It was hidden under the statue. But that doesn't make sense. It conflicts with evidence. I want to press that again. So you didn't see his face, but you saw his mask. But you did have that camera take a picture for you. Right. And Mr. Godot sees no problem with this. I do, though. Something doesn't make sense here. Why is this here? Mr. Atme, could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Ah! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch-nemesis, Master Mask. It is, in point of fact, Master Mask's brooch. It was found on the floor in the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Ah! Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously it wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs have been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off. Aha! We can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. And there's only one person that was in the position to have a struggle with that thief. The only person that was on the security duty that night. You, Detective Atme! Detective Atme, you must have followed the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No! Well, wait just a moment, sir, old timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused by having to deal with so many cases lately. The true measure of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say. Nick, you can only handle one case at a time. Isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so are you now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on. It's quite enough, Your Honor. What, excuse me? Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules. Indeed, I understand. I look at me, agree completely. I did fight with a thief. Indeed, it is true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, a look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true, bam, and that's all she wrote. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Master Mask? Correct. It was also occurred during the third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused which testimony goes to which case. That can't be good. Not as a judge. I don't judge this guy right, though. Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. So why did you look away from the door anyway? In addition to the camera, I prepared a variety of other sensors as well. An alarm that one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegantly, of course. So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer? What should I do? Should I ask more questions? About the sensor. What kind of sensors are you talking about? There are other places in the basement that someone could enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and a cat door as well. I hooked up heat detecting, infrared, and ultraviolet sensors to each of them. That's a lot of hardware. Was it all yours? Lordly Taylor department store was kind enough to provide the monitoring hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belongs to them as well. In other words, he couldn't have rigged the equipment, huh? Has that cleared up any doubts you had of me, Sir Lawyer? Actually, I have another question. This is in addition to the sensors that you set up. I'm just kind of curious. What about the computer? So you did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well? Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. Now it is my specially designed by me. Look at me. In that case, he could have easily manipulated the data. What's wrong, Sir Lawyer? However, look at me could ought to be easily discombobulated. Discombobulated? Wow. What does that mean? Discombobulated? Young people these days. That really irritates me. They are perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Sorry, but what exactly does it mean anyway? I forgot. What was I saying? Jeez, it's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago. Well, looks like we've cleared that up. You can go on with your testimony. Fortunately, the thief grabbed the weapon with the side and rendered me senseless. What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, the thief has no idea that I, look at me, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword with the statue that was standing by the door of the warehouse. Sword? You mean the sword that was all twisted like the tree branch? Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Okay, so he is talking about the Shijishito. So the thief armed himself with a sword. And what about yourself, witness? A true gentleman fights only with his own fists. But they were not enough. No, they weren't. You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities? But of course, in college I was the second in charge of the boxing club. I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch nemesis, Master Mask. Yes, we get it. This guy is a real piece of work. His first blow struck true. Bam! That was all she wrote. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. I'd say he was powericious. Powericious? I assumed that it had me fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent has bested me. What do I do now? So I asked more about this? Wait. You were blinded? So what was this flash of light that blinded you? I was bathed in a golden light that seemed to come from the statue of the woman. The statue of Ami Faye, I'm guessing. Well, that was very much helpful at all. What do you think, Nick? Well, there's one thing I'm absolutely sure of now. Yeah? What is it? This Luke at me guy. He's definitely hiding something. But why? I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. And about the true nature of this detective. I'm just gonna ask another question. I want to ask about that stance. Just to... Not to make fun of him or anything. Or of his... I just want to... Just make sure. What is his at-me fighting style? I'm sorry, but that is a trade secret. I really can't say anymore. But... I suppose I can tell you if you absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get you behind you. That's it? That's the at-me fighting style? Well, Mr. Wright, what about the testimony? Back against the wall. Very important! Of course it's important! We learned a detective's secret technique after all! Yes, indeed! I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out. Does he still remember me from last year? Now then, witness! We'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. I put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye. What? Where's this third eye you're talking about? Oh, it's right between my right and my left eyebrows. It's quite invisible to the unenlightened. You may call it the forehead if you like. Why didn't you just say in the first place? Why didn't you just say that to begin with? So, lawyer, it looks like the creases on your own forehead are getting deeper. So Mr. Amy got hit in the forehead then? That's what he says. Huh. I got a funny feeling about that. Actually, so do I. Well, what do you think, Nick? Okay, I'm definitely understanding more about this guy. Okay, so he got hit in the forehead. Wait. I don't understand that. Okay, he put his back to the wall to fight. He put his back to the wall to fight. And he got hit on the forehead. It knocked him out from the blow to the back of the head. Hang on a second! Objection! Detective at me! Your testimony is crumbling like a house of cards! What fun is this, Sir Lawyer? It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now once again you have thrown down the gauntlet to my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. Now the coward must have wormed his way through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch nemesis struck me in the head from behind with this gruesome item here. From behind, huh? But just now you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It seems I made another mistake. No. Detective at me. It's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, The very fact that you hit the calling card for the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid that they were going to help with the security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong! To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. Hey, hold on! It's not as pretty as that! Really? Then what is it like then? Huh? Always chase a riddle down to the end. It's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that... Let's see. That he's no ace detective, that he's a fake, or that he is Master Mask. All I gotta do is pin it away from him, so... The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmey's true identity is actually Master Mask! Yeah! Order the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts of Mr. Atmey's testimony. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. But that's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up the clues the police overlooked in order to arrive at it. No? Oh, please. The explanation was far simpler than that, Detective Atmey. The truth is that you are, in fact, Master Mask. But Mr. Wright, this photo clearly shows Master Mask. The security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor's department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. They simply dressed as the thief and stole the urn. So, the ace detective is actually the ace thief. Is this true, witness? Damascus Emma was pure genius, and so am I. Look at me, ace detective. It's very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I'm a press lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it? How's your chance? Yes, time to put the last nail on this guy's coffin. Detective Atmey, when you assume the thief's identity... Godot blend number 102. My personal favorite. Mr. Godot! The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true. But Mr. Godot! Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative only out of a whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt, Mr. Trite. If this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. Oh. Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. The court would like to see this decisive proof you have, quickly. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Atmey looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. But can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves Luke Atmey is in fact a Master Mask. Okay, I gotta make sure I actually have this. Something that proves he's Mask to Mask. Again, I'm not trying to prove that... Oh, gosh, this is so tough. I'm trying to prove that he is Master Mask. Not that Ron Delight is the Master Mask. Ron Delight isn't even involved in any of this. I'm just trying to look for Mr. Luke Atme being mask to mask. Actually, now that I think about it, I've realized something. There's a reason I can't prove it. There's a reason I couldn't prove who Master Mask was. There's a reason I can't prove that even Ron Delight is Master Mask. Proof? Of course I've got nothing. Ha! Just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high no matter how bad things get, after all. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. I've got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove this guy is the thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder, try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready yet. But, are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So, you come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness is lifted. Mr. Godot, do you have anything further to add that... Who? Who are you? That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. Light, what are you doing here? Nicky boy, the thing you've been looking for. I think I found it. You mean this bag? No, not the bag. What's in the bag? Well, but that's the sacred urn. Nick, it's the urn. What? Order! You, madam! The urn! Where'd you find it? You'll never believe it. It was in the office of Miss Fancy Pants Ace Detective. Look at me. Oh, Desi, you're the best! Oh my gosh, she found... This looks strange. Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Atme? Even you're going to have a hard time weaseling that out of this one. Objection! Ha! Pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something that you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man would be taken at his word. It's truly sad. You're still denying that Atme was involved? Before casting aspersions at Detective Atme, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree. Desiree Delight. Is that correct? Yes. What about it? Ha! How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring. What are you insinuating? As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered the stolen urn anywhere, including the office of the good detective here. Oh gosh. So you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it. What? I just brought it here from the detective's office. Please, madam. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we have been witness to. You're wrong! I would never do such a thing! Mr. Light, please, Nicky boy, you've got to help me talk some sense into these people. There must be some way. I gotta prove that urn was actually in the Atme's detective agency. Wait a second. What's wrong? Isn't it your job to come up with something to say? Nick, come on! It should be easy to prove. After all, we checked out that bag, didn't we? You're right. I remember doing that. Whatever was in there was hard and round. And smooth, too. Yes, it must have been the urn. It must have. But I never actually saw it with my own eyes. Abby walked in just as I was about to have a look in it. So even if it was the urn in there, I can't testify that it was. You're right. Looks like I was wrong about you, Mr. Trite. this town overflowing with lies, there's still a single flickering candle of truth. Nicky boy! Well, it's true that I never actually saw the urn, but maybe I can still testify about it from another angle. What about it, Mr. Wright? Have you given up yet? There must be some way. Gotta prove that he was actually there. Come on. Fingerprints! I can prove where the urn was by the fingerprints on it. Fingerprints? Oh, come now! Now you're really making me laugh, Sir Lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you could see. So unfortunately, my fingerprints won't have any evidence of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness' fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. Nick, what are you going to do now? Ugh, come on. Abby must have brought that urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it. The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. Me! So what is all this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Atme, do you recall the events of yesterday? Not that button. Hey, Nick, come on, open it up. Hey, wait a minute. We can't just open his private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Hang on a sec. I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard and smooth. Well, hello there. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at the time, but I did touch what was inside. What? You touched it? And I remember it was very well. It was smooth and hard. That was just... Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Atme's office. Objection. Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? Of course it does. What did you say? Not what I said. It was what Adrian Andrews, in person in charge of the exhibition, said. I paused it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could just make it look more valuable. If she paused it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday. It was the Adme Detective Agency. That's blend. Godot blend 107. I've decided. It's a little too bitter after all. I got him. Order, order, order! I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this urn and... Wait! Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that. But no need for, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn. What are you saying? Yes, I finally broken him down. Take a good look, everyone! Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself! Here I am, the tragic clown! This guy is nuttier than the fruitcake. You see, it was me all along. I'm the one and only Master the Mask. I hope you all enjoyed my little performance. Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Atme's condition? He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Well, looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. Nick, you were right after all. Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't a thief. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight. You're wrong! Wrong, I tell you! not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right in what I was really trying to say. Oh no, he's not. This can't be happening. The thief, the sneaky, odious thief that was stealing all the treasures. It's me! It's him! I'm him! I'm the one you want! I'm the thief, I tell you! Just do it! Pronounce me guilty! Please! I don't know what kind of a kangaroo court you all think this is, but... the true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judge... What are you talking about? I already confessed! I'm the thief, I tell you! Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee! Hey there, Mr. Thief. Well, yes, sir! Yes, sir! If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean. If you are Master Mask, then prove it. That's what I mean. Yes, sir. I'll be happy to. He says I'll be happy to, Nick. Well, it's kind of cute. He's 100% committed to his own fantasy. Good boy. Just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man. Yeah, I know that! I won't fail! I swear! Okay then, talk. We're all listening. Oh well, let's all have a listen to this confession. Oh, this is gonna be good. The truth is, I've always been Master Mask all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm actually not Master Mask, can you? I don't have any alibi for the night the item was stolen. After all, I donned my costume that night and elegantly and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo. It's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all. Oh, kidding me? I don't like the direction this trial is taken. But this is how every trial goes. At least with me, anyway. Ha! You're doing great. Stop it, Mr. Godot. You're embarrassing me. Like I said, you're only going to get one chance to testify. Alright. But if you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in a prison as the one and only true Master Mask. Thanks so much, Mr. Godot! I'll do my best! Alright, Mr. Wright. I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. Can't I just have one trial be normal? The truth is, I've always been Master Mask all along! Can I have a trial like everyone else? You may think you're the real Master Mask, but your wife thinks you're delusional. I haven't told Desi yet. About my true identity, I mean. Believe me, I've got my reasons. But the way your room is decked out, how could she not know about it? Even thieves have complicated family situations, I believe. What should I do? Sounds like we're about to get sidetracked. Again. So why are you withholding the truth with your wife? Well, first of all, I don't think she'd believe me anyway. And second, there's one thing about the Desi absolutely detests. It's criminals. If that's the case, then why did you ever start thieving to begin with? Well, Desi is crazy about shopping. She's a real shopaholic. But she's the love of my life, Your Honor. I guess you could say I'm a Desi-holic. So do you have a complicated family? So you do have a complicated family situation after all. Alright, that's enough. Please continue with your testimony. I beg of you. I mean, you can't prove I'm not actually Damask, can you? I thought you were going to be the one to show us the proof. You know, that you're the real Master Mask and not just some kind of obsessed fanboy. Hey now, that's not fair. Why do you have to be all that work anyway? Maybe because you're the one making the outrageous claim, for a change. Come on, Nick. You know that Mr. Delight couldn't have committed the crime. You're the one with the fancy law degree. It's time to put it to work already. I need some kind of proof that Ron Delight couldn't possibly be Master Mask. Well, I guess if you had that kind of proof, we wouldn't still be here, would we? For the time being, maybe I need to shift strategy. I should try to show that Mr. Delight couldn't have stolen the urn. Anyway, I don't have an alibi to that night of the urn was stolen, after all. Really? You got no alibi? I've been a judge for a long time. This is the first time I've ever heard a defendant brag about not having an alibi. But I tell you, I was in Lordly Taylor that night! No. That's too vague. Even for me, to be precise, I was down in the basement warehouse. Hold on. What is it, Nick? Where's Ron DeLight when the crime happened, anyway? If they can prove that he had an alibi after all, this case would be a piece of cake. Well, you're right, but... Ha! You think you can prove that? Wake up and smell the coffee. Well, I think maybe I can. Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence that shows the defendant has an alibi? Actually, I do! I have the evidence. Or do you think I'm still some sort of third-rate rookie? Oh! I've never seen you this angry before. I'm not surprised. Anger is the last refuge of the pathetic. I thought I was more confident than angry. Well then, let's see what this evidence already. Show to this court evidence that proves where your client was on the night of the crime. Well, that's simple. His wallet. And actually, his wallet! Mr. DeLight, this wallet belongs to you, correct? Yes, it does! I lost it somewhere! Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away. No, you don't understand! This is an important piece of evidence! Evidence? Mr. DeLight, when did you first notice that you lost your wallet? Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner. This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security Headquarters. What? Surely you're not serious. Yes, I am serious. This proves that Mr. DeLight was, in fact, KB Security that night. No! So if the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves he has a watertight alibi. No! Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have been taken 30 minutes to get there by car, according to Larry. That's Larry. Who knows how fast he drives? Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? Stop drinking that coffee! Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong. You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. Alright, I'll try. I'll do it, I will. Man, he's really got Mr. Light all worked up. Yeah, he's like the kid at his first day in school. Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have to drop my wallet at KB Security? Someone must have planted it there to make it look like I was there and not in the heist. Planted it there? He's really reaching now. Mr. DeLight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The keycard to KB Security's CEO's office. No! Ha! That was a pretty good try, Mr. Trite. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing. What? Motive, of course. Why would the thief go to the KB Security in the middle of the night anyway? Well, Mr. Wright, looks like you need some evidence after all. Stupid kid. Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. DeLight went to the KB Security at 1 a.m. that night. Oh! I was just shifting through my things, but it's right here. Here is your evidence. What is this supposed to mean, Mr. Wright? Huh? Well, don't you know? Mr. Wright, if you're a real man, you should clean up your own mess. For some reason, it bothers me more when he says it. Now then, get to see your evidence. Okay. Oh, I shot the wrong one. I saw 1 a.m. and just freaked out. What I meant to show was this one, actually. Mr. DeLight, I believe you've seen this before, correct? I'm sorry, it's a piece of paper. I meant this green one. That's... What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? Yes. Basically it says, bring $50,000. That certainly sounds like blackmail, alright. At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security's CEO office, and full half hour away from the scene of the crime. Order! So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. Looks like the perfect case for the defense. Objection. You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's say that my Godot Blend 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was blackmailed at the CEO office of a security company. But did you actually investigate the CEO at all? Huh? Well, no, I guess not. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof? I'm not sure what I think of that. Not sure what I think of that? At least I know what I think of you. Good point, I'm not sure what I think of that myself. You claim the defendant entered the CEO's office, but you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright. Nick, I think we're going to have to track down the CEO guy. No, we aren't to track that down CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite? There's someone else who can testify. The person who can testify the keycard was used at 1 a.m. is none other than Mr. Butts. Who is this useless-looking young man? You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly. But just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. He probably blocked that memory out on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard in KB Security that night. Oh? The question at hand is this keycard. Yep, that's Trite. What? Wow. Trite? What? No. Yeah, that's the keycard they use in the building I work on. According to the serial number, this one's in the CEO office. They used it to get into the room, and every time you use that card, it leaves a record. Yep, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing the keycard's data. Well, Mr. Godot, the name of the CEO in the KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data here. So what does it show? Each card key has its own serial number, and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, the card was used at 1 a.m. in the morning of the crime. Awesome, so it was used. But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed in the mask in the photo. Ha! Looks like you were right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then... Ron Delight is clearly in the office of KB Security CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it is impossible for the defendant to be mask to mask. Good job! You did it, Nick! That's enough! I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of thief. What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment. But before I do that, do you have any further objections? No, Your Honor. Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, not guilty. Awesome, finally. Court is now adjourned. That was the easiest trial I've ever had to do in this game. Goodness. This is one of the easiest trials ever, seriously. Nick, you did it! You were right after all! Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy! Oh, Mr. Delight. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Aw, shucks. thanks, Mr. Light. I just know I'm blushing. Congratulations, Miss Nick! Oh, it's Pearls! I got a bad feeling about this. Who is this woman? Oh, she's nobody. She's just, You're blushing! How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya? You should be ashamed of yourself! Ow, she slapped me. Pearly, this woman is Mr. Desiree's Delight. She's our client's wife. Mr. Nick! Yes? You're even worse than I thought. Go behind the back of your own client. No! You've got it all wrong. Oh, double slap. Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right? We got the sacred urn back and the thief has been caught. You're so right. And it's all thanks to my Nicky boy here. Actually, it was you, Mr. Light, that brought us the urn back. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. Oh, please. You're embarrassing me. We won the case. Then why does this guy still look so glum? But I'm the thief. Actually, what's the point? What is it, Honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know that, and I appreciate it, Tessie. But the thing is... Come on. Give the kid some time. Godot! He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo? Mr. Godot, what are you doing here? Oh, come on. I just came here to say my thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite. Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy. Well, playtime's over. Huh? Early this morning, the body of Cain Bullard was discovered. Cain Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? Isn't that the name of the CEO of KB Security? But body? The estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th. 1 a.m. on October 12th? You don't mean... That's right, amigo. At the same time the cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered. So then, what are you doing here? Oh, come on. We figured it all out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today? Help me out? What? On October 12th, at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Delight was in the CEO office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbued with utter rage. What are you saying? Imbued with rage? Come on, don't tell me you didn't know it. Ron Delight was once an employee in KB Security. He was a professional security guard. An employee of KB Security? It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is going to be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi. No way! He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred. No! That's a lie! It can't be true! But I am a thief, I tell you! Ron Delight, you're going back to prison again. This time the charge is much more serious. This time you'll be tried for murder. What? This is impossible! I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite. You and I aren't through to each other yet. Surely you won't back down from another challenge. You've never been a coward. Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two? I've returned from the depths of the abyss to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here. This guy, who is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced. Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight. Nick, how could this happen? Right in front of our very own eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Ronnie! Oh. Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent for larceny. What the heck's going to happen next?
goodness, and I thought I could have a normal trial for once. Okay. This is finished, right? His attorney. Trials and Tribulations. This is the episode. Okay. Alright, now that we saved him from larceny, let's go try to save him from murder. See you next time. Luigi Ran 64D. See ya.